Salut à tout le monde et bienvenue à SMOPPY'S World. Welcome back to SMOPPY'S channel. I am Miss Stephanie Tanko. Today we are celebrating a very special occasion. Lady Ola, the ever-smiling host and CEO of SMOPPY'S World, is turning 58 today. Isn't that amazing? She has had an amazing journey filled with inspiration and creativity. Lady Ola has turned SMOPPY'S World into a lively place of creativity and joy. She has also touched many lives. Today we explore her heartwarming journey filled with lessons in resilience and positivity. So one day I sat down with Lady Ola for an exclusive interview. She shared insights, challenges, and the secrets behind her bright smile. So stay tuned as we explore her journey, how she made her dreams come true, and why she believed that age is just a number. Lady Ola?
Every year that goes by adds another color to the picture of my life that I create with joy, with laughter, and sometimes a little pain. Each stroke tells a story, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change any of it.
So that's a lovely perspective. Lady Ola shows us that life is a work in progress. Join us after the break to hear of her inspiring words and discover what keeps her smiling brightly at 58.
SMOPPY'S World. Life big questions answered daily.
Lady Ola, happy 58th birthday.
Thank you, Miss Gold.
Let me be the first person to officially wish you a very happy and a progressive birthday, 58.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us, what is the secret? You're 58 and you still look this young.
Well, the secret is number one, God. Number two, peace of mind. My husband gives me peace of mind.
Oh.
Number three, fitness. So amazing. I cannot take credit for any of it.
Amazing. Amazing. So, Lady Ola, you shared a story with me. I know today it's your 58th birthday, and we definitely have a lot to talk about Lady Ola. Today she's sharing with us her life and her experience so far. So stay tuned and enjoy the moment. So, you're a woman that loves sharing your stories, and you definitely use it to inspire a lot around the world, including myself, I must say. So can you share with us your family background with the audience and with myself?
Yeah, I can do that. I was born into a polygamous house.
Wow.
I believe I was the eighth children born in. My father had 3 wives. My mother was the last wife. Okay. So it was a broken home. I didn't get to see both my parents being together when I was born, because when I was born, I believe 6 months after, my parents got divorced. Oh. So I never saw my parents together.
You were the only child.
Yeah. So things were very hard and were very tough. Growing up, I grew up from hand to hand.
Okay.
So it was a tough life from the young age.
So, how does this divorce of your parents? How did you feel growing up, knowing that you were living with your mom or your dad?
At the time, by the time I remembered myself being a human being, I was living with my dad. Apparently, I think, in those days, it was okay for a man to walk out of the marriage, but it wasn't okay for the woman to walk out of the marriage. It was my mother that walked out because she found faith. She found Jesus. So she gave her life to Christ. But
okay.
but through, I would say, through religion.
Exactly, that's what I was about
religion told her that the relationship that she was in was a wrong one because she married my father, who had already had two wives. So ignorantly, my mother left, and my dad wasn't. I mean, I got to know about this story later. Actually, when I released my first book, my auntie now sat me down and started to tell me about the story of how how it happened. So my father was a very promiscuous father. He was every lady's man. Yeah. And so my mother went through a lot of abuse, through emotional abuse. So when religion was introduced to her,
okay, she
saw it as a way out to get out of this relationship. So she grabbed Jesus, and she loved the Lord, and she, without her knowing that it was religion that was preached to her, but she received Christ. So she left, and when she left with me. But my dad never told me that she actually left with me. So after she left the note that she's going to be with Jesus, she doesn't want the relationship anymore, my father came and he was upset. So he chased after this woman and then got me back. And then so the journey began. So I didn't get to see my mom and my dad together. So It was hard.
Wow. Definitely understand. Hard. It must have been a very painful part of you growing up.
Yeah, it was. And one thing I will actually say to whoever that is listening right now is it doesn't matter how bitter you are with each other. You must always consider the children in divorce, because it affects them a lot.
Of course.
Emotionally, it affects them. Mentally, it affects them. Physically, it affects them. So we must always remember that whatever our differences is, we must always consider the children. And whatever it is that has happened between us, we must never let that come between us and those children, because the side that the children knows is different from the side that the husband and wife knows.
Yeah, exactly.
So it affects children in divorces.
Wow. So, Lady Ola.
Yes.
How did your experience with abandonment and loss, how did it shape you to become this woman that you are today?
Like I said, it's been a long journey. And at first it affected me a lot. It didn't change me.
How did you break through that?
I became a wild cat. Because the story that I've had all those years where I was abandoned.
Okay.
Which was the story that my father told me. And I never get to see my mother until actually not too far from when my father died. So I believed that I was abandoned. Feeling abandoned made me bitter because I was told that I was not wanted. So for almost half of my years, I lived in bitterness. I lived in anger. I stopped myself from living. It affected me a lot. I didn't start to live as a person until I left Nigeria and I went to United Kingdom. And I realized that it's about time that I start to live. And I was almost in the mid-20s. So that was when I started to realize that, listen, you cannot hold on to your past. You can blame your mother for not taking you. You can blame your dad for leaving you behind. But you have to take responsibility of your life, for yourself, and make sure you get things out of life. So it was difficult for me. I didn't know how to move past that pain, that rejection, that abandonment, until very, 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 very in the middle.
So how did you do it? And you're now this very loving and caring mom, friend, companion that you are. How did you tell us, how did you break through that bitterness in you?
Yeah, and first of all, you have to come to terms with who you are. You have to understand that life can be unfair, but you don't have to get stuck in that.
Definitely.
So that was the first thing I did. I spoke to myself. Listen, because I was bitter with my mother, I was bitter so much that even when she was dead, I was still bitter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was so bitter that I didn't want to have anything to do with this woman. So I lived with that for many. So how I overcame it, I said to myself, this person is dead. How long are you going to carry this? So it became easy for me when I met Christ. Holy Spirit taught me how to shed all those bitterness and start to teach me how to love. And that's something that I can never take credit for, because I didn't get here by myself. He made me to be here.
Praise God for that.
Yeah.
Lady Ola, you want to share the story about running away from home at 13?
No, are we going to talk about that now?
Oh, yes.
Oh, snap.
Someone asked that. This is the more interesting part. I really want to hear about that. So tell us, how did you feel during this moment, and what did you learn? What did home mean to you? Like leaving home, what did you realize?
Okay, if we have to do this, well, yeah, I ran away at the age of 13. At that time, I was living with a mother that I never knew. Okay. When my father died, I had to. There's no other family member that would take me, so I had to go live with my mother. So, and my mother was a very, very religious woman. At the same time, she was a teacher. And in those days, teachers are very, very strict.
Very strict, I know.
And combination of being a teacher and a religious person. So joined together, and I was coming from a place where all I saw from my father was love. My father never raised his hand upon us as his children. My father never yelled at any one of us. He loved us. We can never do anything wrong as far as my father was concerned. So all I knew was that love. So when I came to live with my mother, I didn't see that love. I saw discipline. I saw someone who was so adamant about our religion, strict. There are things that were not allowed. You were not allowed to wear earrings. I wasn't allowed to wear pants. I wasn't allowed to put on makeup, like trousers.
Okay.
I wasn't allowed to put chemical in my hair. So it was strange to me, and I was already in the teenage year.
Yeah.
So I was with the fact that this person, I was told that this person abandoned me. She never wanted me. Now I was forced to come and live with my mother.
Okay.
And then she didn't know how to, because she didn't grow up with all of us. I didn't have that with my mother, like a mother-in-law, really love. So I didn't have that. So when she had me, as far as I'm concerned, she was a stranger to me. And now I'm living with a stranger who, even though she was my mother, I was living with a stranger who didn't know how to appeal to a teenager, who was not looking at the fact that I was actually broken and I was grieving.
Wow.
My father, who I just lost. So she turned on the heat. And one day I just thought, you know what? I don't think this was really my mother. Because the way she behaved, the way she always talked to me, the way she always yell and say negative things. And I just said to myself, you know what? My brother lives in Lagos. And when she's gone to school in the morning, I'll pretend that I was going to school. And then I will escape. And that was what happened. I ran away at 13. I ran away. I got into public transport and went to Lagos. I've never been to Lagos by myself. And I did that.
And you found your way?
And I found my way. They never thought that I could find my brother's house, but I did after 3 days.
Oh, you didn't miss home, like missing home, being with your mom?
I didn't miss home because that was not home for me. The home for me was taken away from me when my father died. Because we would sit around my dad, we would joke with him, he would play with us. We could feel that love. And this is why it's so important, whoever that is watching, that it is not about you and your wife relationship. It's about the home that you build, the love environment that you build. And that's why you cannot be against each other. You cannot be cat and dogs. You have to, if you're thinking of bringing children into this world, you have to create an environment of love for them. Because I can tell you the difference between a child that is raised in a home that is loved and a child that is raised in a home that is very hostile. It's a big difference. You can tell. So and it's so important that we pay attention to that we make sure that even if it's just a child, we need to create an environment. And if you're a Christian, how would you be a Christian without having a loving loving family? Like that your children will be happy to come home. So for me, I didn't miss the home, because as far as I'm concerned, it was a place that I had to just be at that time. Shelter.
Navigating to that, how was your experience when you lost your dad at 12? And we know home was not your mom, but how did you feel also after losing her at 21?
I can tell you the difference between the two. When I lost my dad at the age of 12, my whole world crumbled. Because it was myself and my baby, my junior sister, which was my dad's last born, that we were always together with my dad. So we were his friend. We were his cook. We were his cleaner. We were all that to him, because at some point my dad didn't have any woman in the house. It was only just two. We were just maybe 6, 7, 5 years old, kids. So I didn't know anybody else apart from that father. So when death came and took him away, I didn't think I could live another day. I was broken. I was angry with God. I was in pain. I didn't think there was any need for life, to live it, to live again.
That in your book.
In my book.
Yeah.
So but when my mom died, because we didn't have that relationship, because the struggle continued. I mean, till she decided to move till I finished college, secondary school. So, and then she moved back to the village. We didn't have that close relationship. I was respecting her because I had to respect my mother.
Yeah.
But the bond,
like the African culture.
Yeah, the bond was not there. So when she actually left, when my mother died, I didn't have the pain that I had with my dad. But having said that, when I look back today, though we didn't have that relationship, I wish my mother was still alive today, because there are some things that she said to me that today she could have said, wow, I never knew that you could turn out to be this.
She will definitely be proud of you wherever she is. I'm sure.
I pray so.
Of course, definitely. So after all of this experience, after becoming a mom at the age of 27, I guess, yeah?
Yeah.
So, and how did it affect you raising your own kids?
Yeah, because it's one thing that we must always remember is that your childhood shapes your adulthood. And whatever you see growing up, whatever environment you grew up, it can affect your future. So I saw love from my dad. I didn't see much of motherly love from my mom. So I said to myself, when I start to raise my children, what I didn't get from my mother, I'm going to give it to my kids. And I'm going to sit on my children that no one will ever abuse them, touch them. I will never leave them out of my sight. And I will pour so much love into them because the love that my dad poured into us, I'm still living with it. So I now, with the love of Christ that is in me, so I just
combine.
I flooded it towards my children, and that's it allows me, because the thing is, you have to make a choice of what you want to be. You want to continue to live in bitterness, or you want to leave the bag of bitterness behind
you
and embrace love, because love is so sweet.
Love is the greatest.
It's the greatest. So when you have love, there's so many things that can happen. I did not allow what I went through growing up, what I didn't get, my mistake, the failure, and the setback. I made sure that did not stand between me and my children, and the way
the love
I'm supposed to bring to them.
Yeah. Wow. Lady Ola, life must have been very tough for you. Losing your dad at 12, your mom at 21, and then finally going to 30, your marriage ended, your first marriage.
Yeah.
And that also is a very bitter experience.
Very, very bitter
experience. You've always shared that story. And I felt like, wow, how did you survive your first marriage when it ended? What did you feel? What impact did you take with that? Did you have any regrets or?
Well, whatever path that God really wants you to walk, He will walk it. For religious people,
yeah,
don't start coming after me now. So, because life is a journey. Yes, it was not a smooth, and it was not a happy ending. In that relationship, it was a bitter one. But I thank God, because two of my beautiful children came out of that relationship. And I didn't let the experience, the abuse that I went through in that marriage, I didn't let it stop me from moving on and trying again. And because it has always been my desire, it has always been my dream to have a family. I didn't grow up having a family. So I desired so much, and I wanted so much that
to have yours,
to have mine. Own. So when that marriage ended, I was looking forward. I was looking forward to the next person that's gonna come on, and I'm gonna create that family with. Yeah. And this is, I don't know who this is for. Because your marriage didn't work, doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you have to get stuck in there. You have to look on the bright side, because you never know what's around the corner for you. And if you never try, you'll never know.
You'll never know. Exactly. Don't get stuck just because you feel like you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. If that's your desire, if you have always wanted to be a family, whether you're a man or you're a woman, because one relationship failed doesn't mean that another better one is not going to come up.
Yeah, and sometimes some people, they just get stuck. Even when God is showing them, like, this is not for you, because He has something better there for you. Now we're going into religion. So what led you to become a pastor at 40? This lady, her story is so interesting. It's like from one phase to another, but I love the progress. So what prompted you, and how did it help you with life, healing, family, and everything? My dear pastor, Lady Ola.
Okay. As for being a pastor, it was never in my radar to be a pastor. I never wanted to be one. But we were about to how do you say it now? were about to migrate to Saudi Arabia. And our pastor then, our apostle then, now called me and said, God told him that as he's sending us as a CIA to Saudi Arabia for Christians, that he wants to do a lot of things with us there. He's sending us there because of the Christians that don't have a place of worship. That God spoke to him that as he's planning to ordain my husband, that he needs to ordain me.
Wow.
And I broke into tears and I said, hell
Who am
no.
I to refuse God's
No,
call?
I do not want to be a pastor. I do not want to be ordained. I cried and cried and cried a week after to the point that where my husband came home one day and he saw me crying and he was like, what's the matter? I said, it's this issue of being a pastor. I don't want to be a pastor. He said, this is what people would like to do. I said, no, I do not want to, because I've been around pastors. I've served pastors in my church, and I see what they go through with their members. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that. And I didn't want to carry that responsibility, because it's a responsibility.
How did you finally say yes? And what prompted you?
I had to say yes reluctantly, like, okay, whatever, if I had to be ordained, okay. But when the man of God told me and said, God said he's sending you to be a CIA and he has assignment for you in Saudi Arabia. And that was what got me hooked up in my hands. I said, okay, if God wants to use that to do, I don't know what he wants to do. If he wants to use that, okay, all right, I surrender. And that was how I became a pastor. And that, I was already starting to get healing from my brokenness.
Everything, yeah.
From my childhood pain, the abuse, the rape, the molestation, the everything that I've been through. I've started getting healed, but I won't say everything became normal or different when I became a pastor, because I refused to become a pastor. For many years, I didn't have the courage to tell my siblings that I was actually ordained. 2 years later, they still didn't know that I've been ordained as a pastor. I refuse to see myself as a pastor. I want to remain a child of God. I didn't want a title. I want that intimacy. I want that relationship that I've been having when I became born again.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to keep that. So becoming a pastor didn't change. It didn't change much, apart from the fact that I started to now have responsibility of, winning souls and, talking to this one,
drawing people
closer to God. And so that's the healing part. I started before I became a pastor.
Oh. Lady Ola, after the loss of your dad and everything that happened, your failed marriage, you later found love.
I did.
So how did you feel, and how was it for you, like finding real love, a man that accepts you, even after all your past experience? You had, a couple of rapes back. Like, how did he accept you and all of these things, and what did it mean to you? Like,
when God has mapped out the journey of your life, it would look like you are watching a movie.
Exactly.
So the story of my finding love is so amazing that I don't, even till now, it still baffles me.
A real love.
Like it still baffles me. Like, how did we get here? I was just in a service. He flew down from LA. We're having a service, and At that time, I was still with that crazy guy, the old marriage. And I just sat down there and I whisper in my heart and said, Lord, this guy is fine.
Ooh.
Why can't this guy be my husband?
Why didn't you shoot your shot?
Yeah, I'm a no school. I'm a no school. So in those days,
Yeah, the man has to come first.
Yeah, the man has to come first. But
Yeah.
so I did not know that I was actually confessing or making a declaration of what God has already put in place.
You know what the Bible says?
That is yet to be revealed.
The tongue has power of life and death.
Yes. So and I just say, and 2 years later, our paths cross again. And there was then I realized that the time that I was dealing with the issue that with my other marriage,
crazy marriage,
he was also dealing with another crazy marriage. And we both got divorced the same year, the same month, but we've never met. So when we started talking, we realized that actually, wow. And from the very moment that this guy started calling me from LA, I didn't know who the spirit was or is. And the first time that he called me on the phone and we were talking, and it was like I had somebody speaking to my ears and say, you have to love him. You have to love him beyond what you can even imagine or think. You respect him like your senior brother. And I'm thinking, the only love I know is from my dad, and I don't know how to love anybody else. So how do I love someone when I don't know how to love? And that conversation went on, and I began to see myself, because there's a way in my language that you speak to an elderly person.
Yeah.
And then I started to respect him, and gradually we started to build the bond, and we became inseparable. And the things that used to happen in my old marriage, when it happens in this new marriage, and my husband will be like, okay, what's the solution? It's like, if I make a mistake, like for example, I just knocked this cup over and the water spill everywhere. In my old marriage, I'll get a slap and beaten for that. Because
and you stayed for how many years?
For 10 years.
Oh my.
When God is preparing you,
you have to pass
He keeps
through
you
the
there.
storm.
And I'm grateful to God that He built me there so that I can enjoy this one. So, but in this one, if I spill the water in the cup, He will tell me, He will actually be the one to quickly get something to wipe the water that falls on the floor and pick up the cups and be asking me, am I okay? And I started to feel like, is this guy genuine? Is it really genuine? Or is it fake? And then I started to be myself, because with Him, I can now see that I can be by myself. I can be me.
The real you.
The real me can come out, and the way He pushes me to be the best version of me.
Oh my God, I'm about to cry.
It's just amazing. So, and this is why whoever that is watching, it's not over until God says so. And when you find love, you will know the real love. Okay. And you won't have to do much. Actually, everything that you do will be so right.
Enough. You will be enough.
Will be enough.
Wow. So that's such a beautiful story. I pray I found such love for myself.
Yeah, He's coming. He's coming.
Amen.
He's coming. He's coming.
Lady Ola.
Yes.
So at 49, you wrote your first book.
Yes, I did.
And this book is like a whole life story about you.
Mm-hmm.
I read the book. It's quite interesting, very amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Mm. So, what was your inspiration?
Mm.
And how did you navigate your way through?
True. Yeah, the book is titled, Do You Know Why You Can't Feel My Pain? With the subtitle, Overcome the Pain of Separation. When I wrote that book, I was going through a major separation of something that we built. We had built a mega church. I mean, it might sound weird to people who never believed that this happened, but we built this mega church in Saudi Arabia, and we invested everything in it. We raised leaders, we built people, we create an environment for Christians who have place to. And all of a sudden, the devil came against us, and we were deported out of Saudi Arabia. And the church that we built, the people that we built, some of our leaders that we thought they were actually there for us, our right-hand people, turned out to be, were happy about our predicament. Like they kind of find joy so that they can come into power. So when we left that, when I saw that, I was broken over again. I was already broken, leaving what we built behind, the people that we built, the family that we built,
and
everything. So, and I didn't know that I had so much pain in my heart until my husband came home one day and said, God told him that it's about time that I write my book. I said, what book? Well, years back, there have been prophecy that I'm going to write books, not one, not two. That the person said he saw so many books, and I was like, is it because they told you? I said, no, I don't have any book. He said, but Holy Spirit is telling me that it's time for you to write your book. And that was how he left for work. The next day, I picked up my iPad and I sat down before my iPad and I said, Lord, I don't know what you want me to write. And lo and behold, I wrote 4 pages of the book before my husband came back, between 9 and 4 o'clock. And he had so many, you've read the book, he had so many stories of my life. The church in Saudi Arabia, the people, my family, my love life, everything.
Quite amazing. So this is your 58. Is it for real, or are we just having it there?
It's for real. I'm 5'8". Wow. Believe it or not.
I want to be like you when I grow old.
Oh my goodness, you gotta work at this one before you get there.
Talking about that, what inspired you to become a fitness? This, like your passion.
Yeah, to be a fitness enthusiast, right? Yeah. First of all, it runs in my family this sickness, or I should call it ailment, blood pressure, hypertension.
Oh.
And my brother has suffered stroke for years. He has not even spoken in 15 years. And that led to that. So, and I said to myself, this thing runs in the family. And we're big in our family.
Want to break the pattern.
And I said to myself, I am not going to go through that route. I want to break that pattern. And how do I get there? I started, exercising when I had my second to last, which is my first son to my husband. And
35, I guess.
At 35, yes. So I started, reluctantly being encouraged by one of the soldiers that I work in my working place. And before I know it, it became a lifestyle. So it's something that has become a lifestyle for me. I don't know how to even move away from it. So it's health-wise, and to make this funny, right? My husband loved me the way I was when he met me. I was the figure 8 that he met, and when I start to put on weight, it's not liking it very much. So I said to myself,
you need to keep that.
I need to keep this man. Everything that he's doing for me, the only thing I could do is to keep myself. So plus the fact that it's an health issue that I had to really, really conquer and overcome. Wow. So So at 58, I'm still moving, still running my house and being myself.
Wow, nice. I think I should wake up more because I'm a little bit now and here and there. Some days I want to do exercise, some days I'm lazy. It's okay. I guess
It's a state of mind.
You can be my coach.
Right, okay. Yeah, I hope you can handle
it. Not you.
Yeah, I would like to encourage, people actually. I would like to encourage people to take their health serious. Okay. If you know that this thing is in the family, it's in the bloodline, you can, because the Bible said, for anyone who comes into Christ is a new creation. All things has passed away. You can dissociate yourself from a negative bloodline.
That's true.
By making a decision and taking hold of your life. So you can actually overcome that, because your father or forefather had that issue. Doesn't mean that you have to have it. It's your decision. You can actually, say, I don't want to be part of that. So, and I just encourage you, whatever little you can do. You don't have to do much. Even if you don't have money, you don't have to go and subscribe to gym. You can do a little bit of exercise here and there to keep you going.
Yeah, you can also check some of her videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And for daily home exercises.
Yes.
Yeah. And so there we go to the SMOPPY'S World brand.
Yeah.
Is it part of the fitness stuff and everything?
Yeah, actually that's my way. That's my dream, going forward now. That's one of the things project I'm working on now, to start having my own brand. I want to have my own brand that people can actually comfortably wear and be proud of. And I've started with my gym clothes, so I'll be having SMOPPY'S World Fitness very soon. Is cooking. Is I've already started the process, so that's it will be out soon, so that people can start placing their order.
Amazing.
And
so is it going to be all about fitness outfit, or maybe something moderate day to day?
Because I want to really, I do not want people to see my age, because I want to really bring the older generation also into the system, and also bring the younger ones into my world. So that the younger ones these days, they don't have time for fitness or looking after themselves. They're chasing money.
Exactly.
And at the same time, being able to encourage the older ones, my generation, the baby boomers, that listen, age is just a number. You can still rock it.
Yeah.
Like you got it. If you got it, you got it.
Just like you. Rocking
you have to, you can say rock it. So I want to make it to be sporty.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into jeans or anything. I'm going to be in the middle. Yeah. So if you want to do, fitness, or if you want to do relaxing ways, so that's what we're going to be doing.
Amazing. We're quite excited.
And I'm open for suggestions.
Oh, we're excited and looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Lady Ola.
Thank you.
So, with all this that life has thrown to you, do you have something like a belief, a guide that keeps you going on how to handle your challenges in life?
Yeah.
Please share with us.
Yeah, my belief in life and what keeps me going is, number one, you cannot take God out of what you do. Number one, it's the God factor. I won't be here today if it wasn't for God. Do you know that the devil actually wanted to take me out when I turned 21? I had a very terrible accident that actually I was declared dead. After a few hours, God restored me back. So, for me, God first. In everything, God first. If you think you don't believe in God, you believe in God. You have to do more than just knowing about Him, but knowing Him personally. That's me.
You need to have this
God. You have to have relationship with Him. It's the most important thing for me, and that's the way I live my life. And it has been the power behind me. is the breath that I take, is what is driving me daily. So it's God, nothing else.
It's the highest, the Alpha and the Omega.
Mm-hmm.
We all do know that. I will build up my Christian life more on that. Of course, I'm a child of God, but you telling me you could overcome all of this means that there's nothing
Having
that is
God
impossible.
at the center of everything, yes.
There's nothing that is impossible with Him.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Tell us, Lady Ola, so what legacy are you leaving for your children and others? And what do you think it's quite very, very, very inspiring for the youths nowadays? What can you share? Tell us something.
The legacy that I would like to leave for my children or for the people or whoever that is watching or get to watch me whenever, even when I'm gone, is the legacy for my children and those I will leaving behind to know that, number one, I want to be known as a person that has touched many lives.
Yes.
That has added value into the lives of many. I want my children to leave that legacy for people to know that being able to put others first is a blessing from God. And if you really want to be blessed, you have to take care of others. Jesus said to Peter, "Do you love me?" Peter said, "You know I love you." He asked him 3 times, "Do you love me?" And at the end of the day, he said to him, "Feed my sheep." He didn't say, "Forget about yourself." He said, "Look after the people." So I want to be known as someone who has a heart for people, who love the Lord, and who love the people that He created. And really, life is about you giving so that you can be given back to you.
So how have you experienced influence and connect you to helping others and people facing similar struggles and phases? How was it your experience? How has it shaped you to help others?
Yeah, it's I have one belief, and that belief has always been for me that if you've been through hardship, if you've been through pain and disappointment and rejection, why do you want other people to go through that?
Because there are some people that believe that what I suffer, I need to give it out to others. Like they don't think that they need to give love because they got pain. This our world nowadays. People are cruel. Everyone is going through one thing or another, and they feel like, why do I need to be kind to this person when this other person is not kind to me?
Because if we have a mind like that, then we don't know our purpose on us. For me, I enjoy helping people.
Seeing people happy.
Same people who are going through what I've been through. I enjoy helping them to come out of that, to help them to see light through this tunnel.
Yeah.
To help them to be able to look back again and say, wow, I never thought I could come out this way. So what I've been through has allowed me to be more passionate, to give more to the world that I was created to.
Yeah.
So it has. So I just my face always lights up when I derive joy. I just have joy in just solving problem that I know that people are really facing, and they don't even have to give me money. Actually, you can give me money, but when you give me that, I drop money quickly and then run for that because that's my purpose.
Amazing. Okay, you're always to say, if I was in your shoes, there will be a part of my story that I will like to keep to myself. But you're always very open.
Yeah.
You're always very open in a way that sometimes I'm like, wow, saying that you were raped and your mom didn't love you, give you this love that you deserve. Like, what is that confidence of just sharing your whole story to the world? How do you feel?
What gives me confidence is because I know that, maybe because I'm a relationship coach as well, which
Yes.
may, I got to become a relationship coach because of what's on the inside of me, and the gift that God has given to me and my person. Maybe because I've had to deal with a lot of people who have been molested, raped, rejected, dejected, abandoned, and all that. Maybe because I've had to deal with a lot of them emotionally, I get connected. So I am ready to put myself out there because somebody has been shut up. Somebody has been shut down. Somebody has been put in a corner and said, you are not, you shouldn't, it should be a thing of a shame. Whoever that got raped was not their fault.
Exactly.
So I shouldn't be the victim. They should be the victim. So that, even though as we're speaking, some of the members of my family didn't think I should be talking about it, but this is me. I want to help whoever that is in there for them to know that it's never their fault. They have never done anything wrong. And that's what gives me the courage to say, okay, if I put my story out there, it will give somebody, it will encourage somebody else to actually pour out their heart and they can start to heal.
Amazing. As we shut down, is there some piece of advice to the youths like ourselves about life, fitness, marriage, love, family, everything? Just, is there words that you want to send out to the audience?
Okay, to the audience, what I would like to say is, number one, you need to love yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to approve of yourself. And you need to affirm yourself. If you can do all of those, you will see life differently. And you will also be able to embrace others. You will be able to help people. And people will not be able to reject you.
Yeah.
Or make you feel
down on you.
Or make you feel less of yourself. You need to take your life seriously, because if you don't take your life seriously, nobody's gonna do it. The world is so crazy now that everybody's minding their own business.
Yeah.
So you've got to pay attention to yourself, because it's only when you are made whole that you can actually be a blessing to someone. So in this generation, take your health serious. You are important. One thing you must always remember, you are important.
You are enough.
Everybody else is a noise in the market. So make yourself to be the most important person. I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm talking about you being understanding who you are and accepting you for who you are. And then know your purpose. And live your life. Don't hold grudges. Don't fight. Be at peace.
Just be you.
Be you. Be at peace. And life is beautiful if you really know how to navigate it.
Forgive yourself also.
Forgive yourself. If you have had pain in the past, forgive yourself, move on. Or if you have hurt somebody, if they've forgiven you, forgive yourself and move on. And you'll be all right.
So you heard that from the host, the CEO of SMOPPY'S World. As we are rounding up today, again, I want to wish her a very happy birthday, Lady Ola.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. Yeah, we have some celebration coming up, of course, I guess.
Are they invited? I don't know.
Oh,
but
no.
you're all invited.
I know your king has something in stock for you. Definitely.
Yes, definitely. My king is going to treat me.
Cheers to Dr. Victor.
Yes, my sweetheart.
The sweetheart of Lady Ola.
Yes.
He's the reason behind this.
Yeah. After God is a king. After God is my king.
So what a fantastic journey we just saw. Thank you, Lady Ola, for sharing your wisdom and inspiring us with your kind words. To see the beauty in every moment, regardless of your age. Life is just like a mixture. Each twist shows new colors, definitely, and patterns. And it's our job to make the most of it. If Lady Ola's stories inspired you, take a moment today to think about your journey. What colors are you adding to your life? Like and share your thoughts on social media. We want to know and hear if you enjoy this. And please don't forget to share, follow her on all social media handles, join her community, be inspired by her coaching program on relationship. As we celebrate Lady Ola's 58th birthday, let's carry her message of joy and strength into our life. Thank you for being with us today. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories. And remember to keep smiling every day. It's a chance to shine bright. Until the next time, love yourself, take care of yourselves, spread joy. Have a wonderful and a blessed day. D'accord, merci à tout le monde. Merci pour ton temps et tu prends bonne soin de toi et bonne journée à vous. Merci.